You're in a position now where you were a news anchor. You recently launched and have had a lot of success in your business. Talk to me about where you're at along your financial freedom journey. And is that even a goal that you're shooting for?
Sure. Who doesn't want to name their number and be able to have financial freedom? I think that's all, that's considered success. I'm still on that journey. I'm early in my business. It's 2 years. We were able to be a 6-figure business and a profitable business within that first year with just me on payroll. And that tells me it's the right business to be in. I tested different offerings. My goal is to be able to have one of those offerings evergreen. So that's the financial freedom that everyone's looking for, that we can take ourselves out of the sales process. And so that's something that I've had a lot of success with learning how to do. And now we're working on implementing it.
Yeah, I love that too, because when you really create something that's an asset, right? You put all this time, effort, energy in creating an asset. And then once you can really get that to sell itself and you got a team who can do it, you're fairly semi-passive in that endeavor. Now, really, it's still an active business because you've got to go and promote it and be the face and all these things. But from that place, when you've got income coming into your business every day and you can rely on it and it's not based on some new sale that has to happen on a big product, your business is so much more secure. And that's really what business owners need to be able to go out and try new things and be able to grow in different ways. Have you found that?
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like your W-2 without having to do any work, right? It's your security. It's the paycheck, that's going to cash. So it's a no-brainer. I think a lot of people get hung up on overcomplicating what that evergreen offering or what that flow of income that's going to be coming in every month can be. I think they're trying so many different things. They're throwing so many different things at the wall, hoping one thing will stick. And sometimes you can overextend because you're not focusing on one thing enough.
Yeah. Without enough focus, you're not going to be able to get the feedback, those lessons, and know, was it my approach? Was it the industry? Was it this? Because you're trying so many things that it's kind of blurring because you don't have enough of that industry insider knowledge of experience doing that one thing. So talk to us about, how did you decide to build the business that you're building right now? What led you to that point of saying, yes, this is my money-making activity that I'm going to do to make and earn money in my business?
By failing. And that's the overarching theme here. I knew when I was getting out of the news business, which I did so because I felt more of a problem than a solution. I felt journalism had changed dramatically, and I wanted to reverse the model where I took the skills that I used to turn the camera into my crutch, right? Like my job as a news anchor was to be able to talk to you at home and look into that camera and you feel like you know me and you connect to me because I have that relationship with the lens. That's a skill set. So I knew if I taught what I had as a skill set, but did it for people who wanted to make an impact and then help them get on TV, we could change that piece of journalism, even if it's just one segment, that people that are getting on and have an important story to tell. So it's teach what you know. That was my method. That was what I tried to do. I spent a lot of time creating a program that I launched to crickets. And it was a self-paced course, all online. And it was the best thing that could have ever happened to me because I realized I was doing the wrong thing. I wasn't supposed to be, talking into the camera and having people watch videos. I needed to really workshop this with individuals. So I went to one-on-one coaching, which got too difficult to manage because there were too many people. So we turned it into group coaching, which is what I have now called the Green Room. And the Green Room is the media training with, group of people that now we're going to turn into evergreen, where if you can't do the live group coaching, you're watching the live masterminds just recorded. So you're the fly on the wall. And then you get 1 hour of live coaching where I'm going to, get you to the mock interviews so that we can get you on TV. So once I saw that model was what people wanted, they wanted to see that coaching, I adjusted and I pivoted. And I think that's so key in business. You get so married to your idea that you're not willing to let it fail. Sometimes it has to fail so that you can get to what your most successful product is going to be.
Yeah. It's so true. So many people are so afraid of failing that they won't try and they won't take it as new information to go out and do something different. So I love that. And what I'm really interested in understanding is, you were in a career for a long time and then you've stepped out. You've taken that big risk to really take control and ownership of your life, build a business, help more people, change the conversation. what is that vision of the life that you're creating? What is that really about? What do you want to do once you get to that point of knowing that your income is meeting and able to fuel all of those goals? What does that look like for you?
Yeah, I don't think I'm very different from my dad, who didn't retire, really still isn't retired. And there's never going to be a point where I say, okay, I'm done. I'm just going to go travel. I'm also a mom to two small kids. So part of my financial freedom and what drives that is to be able to have more time with my children. And I think a lot of women right now are experiencing that. That's what happened with the Great Resignation. A lot of people saying, I want financial freedom so I can be the parent that I want to be. Men and women. I have actually had people come up to me in keynotes who have said, I didn't want to be on the grind of just constantly in meetings. I want to do my own thing so that I can be the family person that I want to be. And so that's a question that I don't think I ever want to answer. I don't want to say what's the end game. I don't want to know what the end game is. I'm really excited about everything in between. And the most important thing to me about the financial freedom is to be able to be more present with my family.
Well, I totally get that. And I think the end game, there's always another level. There's always a new vision. And so when I think of ultimate vision, it's like, what is the perfect life that you're living? How do you spend your time? Who are you spending it with? My personal vision, there's many people on here who they want to retire. They want to just spend time with their family. They want to work a couple hours a week. I'm a mission to impact 1 million people and help them get financially free. There's no need for me to ever end doing that because I love doing it. I'm a lot like you, but there is pieces of that I see that I'm like, okay, well, each of these different levels along the way towards getting closer to that place are just new experiences that I get to enjoy. And so what I'm really hearing from you is you want to be able to take back that time so that you can spend it with your family when you want to, and still be able to go out and be on this trajectory to, make an impact in the world in the way that you're doing it now. And maybe as that'll evolve over time.
That's exactly right. I think if I could equate anything to financial freedom, it's freedom of time. And there's nothing that the price of that is, we can't even put a number on it. It's just, that's what we're all trying to seek, is more time for what makes us happy.
And it's interesting because so many people actually do place a number on that, whether they do it consciously, right? It's that hourly rate of how much they're earning in salary to go and do their job, or that hourly rate and how much they earn in their business by managing and executing and doing all of those things. It is a decision, but I think the levels that we step from being an employee to being a business owner to being an investor, and you can skip the business owner right to investor, no problem. But each of those along the way gives you more control. And I think the other thing it gives you is it gives you the ability to leverage your time so that you're actually making a lot more per hour. Because I would imagine the work that you do with your clients today probably pays you way better than the work you were doing when you were an anchor. Is that right?
In my first year of business, I made more than I did as a news anchor, ever did as a news anchor. Yes.
Yeah.
And I was doing it for 15 years. And, that's also attributed to multiple streams of income. When you're W-2, you can't have side hustles usually. At least I was a contract employee, so you couldn't have that. So having multiple streams of income has been transformational for my business. I'm a coach. I'm also a podcast host. I'm a keynote speaker. I'm a writer. And being able to have those multiple streams of income is the essential key to what if one of those buckets dries up in the recession? You got something to back it up.
Yeah. How have you gone about setting the targets for yourself? In other words, like what income or exit targets are you working towards that you'll know, hey, I'm getting closer and closer to this life that I'm creating?
Yeah. Every quarter I set a monthly number, just like, what this podcast is all about. Yeah. I set a monthly number. I don't know if you've read the book Profits First.
Yep.
I am very diligent about following that methodology. I think it's brilliant. I'm a big numbers person. I'm also a big visual person. So behind my camera right here, I've got a huge whiteboard that says growth plan 2023 Q1. And every quarter I'm going to that growth plan and I'm getting every single bucket and I'm putting a number to every single bucket of what I want. And it keeps me accountable. And I think that, there is no disappointment when I don't hit that number. There's just more drive to hit it the next quarter.
Yeah. So I really like that. You have a monthly active income number that you've set. You're working towards it. That's fueling your business. You're learning from it. You're saying, hey, what worked, what didn't work. Passive income, something is kind of new for you. So if you were to look at that passive income number, do you have anything set? And if not, we can talk about how you actually go about doing that.
Yes. Will you give me some insight? What my goal is to have some funding where I can then look at some passive income, specifically maybe some rental properties where that's and I know that's what really interested me about you is it's a no-brainer, to be able to have 2 or 3 properties where here's the thing about that. And this is, I think, what trips up a lot of entrepreneurs. When you don't know the space well, you start to get nervous because I know TV, I know this world. So I'm never going to feel like I'm going to get tripped up. I know if a client asks me a question, there's no question that can stump me. But when you get into a world that you aren't as knowledgeable on, you start to get a little nervous, not fearful, but a little nervous.
It's the feeling that so many people have, and it's the reason they don't move from where they're at. They're in their safe cave. They know that they're in their cave. Maybe they know that life is better. There's sunshine, there's nutrients, there's food, and they've gone outside of the cave a little bit, but they're not really sure where to go. And it's scary. So until they really have somebody they can follow in their footsteps, or they start learning the knowledge and taking the small steps to have those little wins along the way, where all of a sudden they realize like, wow, there's been a house right out front the entire time. I could have moved in, could have set up shop. And it's just about getting to know the right people, because just like you in your business, right? You're an expert at media. If somebody wants to do media and they want to learn how to do it well, they want to talk to you. And I think the same needs to be true when it comes to investing. One of the things that I think a lot of people get tripped up on, as well as they think, hey, I want to go own some real estate, or I want to go own this investment and I'm going to go buy it and operate it. And I'm going to have to figure out if it's a good deal or not. And I'm going to have to manage it. And what you're really doing is you're buying another job. Now, the benefit of it is that you probably make a better return if you do it really, really well than if you were to have somebody else do it for you. But the trade-off is that you actually make a much better return when you find someone who's as much an expert in their craft as yours. You learn enough to be able to know whether they're actually the expert, whether their vision and values aligns with you, and have an actual investment plan to know, well, if I do these 5 strategies for the next 5 years, then I'm going to be able to get here then. Or maybe I just need to do it this year and I'm there. Or maybe it's going to take me 10 years because my balance sheet just isn't quite there. That's where you really start to unlock freedom, because when you invest passively, you essentially are partnering with an operator, is what we call them. You're partnering with this business that their job is to go find, fund, and manage the property, and your job is to write a check.
Thank you for listening to the Investor Mindset Podcast. If you like what you heard, make sure to rate, review, subscribe, and share it with a friend. Head over to theinvestormindset.com to join the Insider Club, where we share tools and strategies from the top investors and entrepreneurs on how to take it to the next level.